started with the player piano, singing with the player piano in Harvard School, and this got me sort of to be a convert of singing out on the streets and learning what the thing is and what the true idea of it is. A woman heard me sing, and she gave me singing lessons very inexpensively for about 2 or 3 years. But she taught me the regular way of teaching. This way that I'm singing now is not taught by singing teachers. It has to be taught by yourself, because it's a very rare singing method. I grew up in Chelsea. I was in the Second World War, and I went to art school under the GI Bill. And but I always wanted to sing more. I think, being an artistic person, I found more art in singing than I did in art itself. There's a saying, delicate people should lead delicate lives, and this was more of a delicate life for me, singing, than the rigorous art life that an artist might have. Everybody says they come from a musical family. Well, I did too. My uncle had a music store in Boston, and I worked for him for 25 years in his music store. So it's funny that I've been around so much sheet music, and here it is here, and I can't seem to get away from it. I was sort of ordained to do something when it comes to singing or music. I sang in the Hotel Lenox for years. I was one of the big singers in there. It was sort of like the mother piano bar all over the world, the biggest piano bar. And people came there from far and wide, and there were friends there, and we had parties, and there was a lot of singing there. It was, as I said, a big piano bar. And I sang there for many years. I'd feel like a fool if I was out there just singing in the regular old-fashioned way. I was a conventional regular singer, like a lot of people fall asleep listening to. And so what I do is as a baritone, you can hear that I don't talk like a tenor or a girl, and I don't sound like a girl when I sing, but these songs are 7 or 5, 7 or 8 notes above the original key, which would sort of flirt with the idea that it would be like a girl, but there's no feminine quality to it whatsoever, fortunately, much to my relief. Well, a tenor might have trouble singing a high B flat or a high C, which I don't, because with me it's a kind of technique. But with a tenor, he may not be able to sing any higher than he already does, and then when it comes to the expressive low notes, he hasn't got them. In fact, he may not even have them whatsoever. But that's where I revel, in the lower notes as well. The reason countertenor hasn't been too popular over the years is, one is so few people can do it, and then a lot of people got it confused with falsetto. There was an entertainer come out called Tiny Kim, and he sang a falsetto, but it was very feminine and sort of like a satire, and like a calamity, and like a comedy. As far as the way I'm singing, well, I've spent thousands of dollars on old singers and listened to reel, which I have over there. And I stumbled upon this sort of obscure person that had this particular technique. And to do well in life, everybody needs an idol. It took me 2 or 3 years to zero in on what this thing is that I'm doing, what this thing is that my idol, this man called Larry Burke, was able to do. And so I sort of idolized him, and I actually think he's the best singer I ever heard in my life. And so the only way I could find what he was actually doing is just trial and error. I thought that I should apply this for the streets as well. And to me, it's more rewarding, and I'm happier with this than I was with the player piano. I met a millionairess in Cambridge, here where I am now, and she
liked me and I liked her for about 3 years, but there's an old saying, getting back to my old sayings, what is money compared to love? So after 3 years I left her. In other words, I jilted the millionaires. But by that time, my roots were established in Cambridge. She introduced me to friends that were involved in real estate, and I invested money and got involved with them. They say, you know, I should keep my day job. Well, I had my day job as far as real estate is concerned, and now that I'm older, I can coast along on what I earned in real estate.
It's just the idea. I thought of getting out there and not collecting any money, but it's just part of the game. The idea of money in street performing is very minuscule. You make about, on the average, about $5 or $6 an hour. But it's just the idea of receiving the money. If I like people to give me money, the thing I like even more is for them to listen to me. Because in order for a singer to enchant, he should have good listeners. I pay tribute to the Cambridge Art Council for having the opportunity to get out there and have an audience. It's amazing. You'd think that if a person was out there singing in the way I do, that, you know, that there'd be a lot of trouble. I think there's probably more trouble or jealousy from the other street entertainers than there are from the public. Because then there's competition. I work all year round, unlike a lot of street performers that aren't out there whatsoever. Most of the entertainers just come in the good weather. And I'd say there's about 100 street entertainers in Harvard Square, and a lot of them you just see here a few times. Now when I hear the words I love you, it's just out of habit I know. Don't change, you're still the one that I adore. Come cuddle in my arms once more, like you did before you changed. I was asked, why do I bring these things to Harvard Square, some of these things with me? It's because I have them here, and why should I leave them all at home? It's part of me. I mean, it helps embellish my act. And some people might just be interested in this stuff that I bring out more than my singing, for one thing. And, well, you know, it's something different. Some people say it looks something like me. But the connection is that I don't know whether I'll ever get any place as far as being a real success in my singing. And the woman that made these dolls, she calls them creatures, I don't think that she got any place, even though she put a lot of work into making this doll. There's a lot of craftsmanship in there. I like it. And the reason 99% of these songs I sing are love songs is because people are still getting married. Love isn't out of date. I mean, love is not old-fashioned. If I don't have an audience where I'm singing, I enjoy listening to myself. I realize it's not about popularity, it's about love. Song should produce enchantment. But for this, a disposition of both throat and soul is necessary, which is uncommon even among great singers. In other words, I think that there's more of a possibility if a singer uses my technique of singing that there may be enchantment, because I think that's the idea. I don't think people should listen to music just because it's trendy or it's popular. Well, there's an old saying, want of gain never made an artist, but has marred many. In other words, I don't try to be famous. I just try to be artistic. Oh, I'm 74 now. I hope to, in 10 years, be doing the same thing I'm doing now. I won't have the pressure of being successful. as long as I sing on the street.